Pluto's discovery was not a plan, but a mistake of math that shocked the whole world. Astronomers were looking for a hunter millions of kilometers away who was shaking the planets from its place. But when they reached the target, they did not find a powerful hunter there, but a small traveler. Today we will know how Pluto's discovery became the mistake of astronomers and why we pushed it out of the category of planets. Welcome to Hidden History Hub videos again. Pluto's story begins 150 years before its discovery, when Uranus, the seventh planet of our solar system, was discovered in 1781. But astronomers saw a problem in Uranus's orbit. When they calculated through Uranus's mass, they found that it was not moving in its orbit as it should according to Newton's law of gravity. At that point, experts understood that either Newton's law of gravity is wrong or there is another planet in front of Uranus that is attracting it to its direction and diverting it from its path. Their guess was absolutely right, because at the point at which Uranus was doing this, they found another planet, the eighth planet of our solar system, which is called Neptune. This was a great victory of science, but the problem was still remaining, because even after Neptune's discovery, Uranus was still struggling a little. According to Neptune's mass, Uranus was diverting more than it should have. This meant that maybe there is a very big and heavy planet beyond Neptune that is disturbing these two. This fake and heavy planet was named Planet X, and for the next decades, all the astronomers started looking for this new planet. To find this Planet X, an American astronomer named Percival Lowell built a special observatory in Arizona, which is called the Lowell Observatory. But a few years later, in 1916, Lowell left this world without finding Planet X after 13 years of his death. 23-year-old Clyde Tombaugh was given the responsibility of finding Planet X. His work was extremely difficult and tiring. He took pictures of the same special part of the sky on different days and then compared them. If a shining star was changing its place, it meant that it was not a star, but a planet. On February 18, 1930, Clyde saw that a small dot was changing its place in the two pictures taken in January. Further research confirmed that this is the same Planet X that the world was looking for. The name of this planet was suggested by an 11-year-old British girl. She believed that because this planet is very far and in the dark, so its name should be the Roman god of the dead, Pluto, but who knew that in the near future, Pluto's existence would be in danger. When Pluto was first seen in 1930, astronomers did not have such powerful telescopes. That's when they assumed that it would be a very big and heavy planet, which is disturbing the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. But as the years went by and the telescopes improved, Pluto's mass decreased in the eyes of people. In 1930, Pluto was imagined to be equal to Earth. In 1948, new calculations proved that maybe it is equal to Mars. But the truth of Pluto came to light when Pluto's moon Charon was discovered in 1978. Something happened here that shook the astronomers. According to physics, if you know the orbit of a planet's moon and its speed, then you can calculate the exact weight of that planet. When the mass of Pluto was calculated by taking into account the orbit of Charon and its speed, all astronomers were shocked. Pluto turned out to be so light that it could not disturb or divert the orbits of Uranus or Neptune in any way. Now there was a new debate here that if Pluto is so small, then who is disturbing the orbits of Uranus and Neptune? Perhaps this debate would have continued, but in 1989, the first human probe, Voyager 2, passed by Neptune. With the help of Voyager 2, we found out that Neptune's old mass was actually wrong. Yes, with the slight change in Voyager 2's speed, Neptune's real pull, its real gravitational pull was found, which was 0.5% less than the old calculations. When this new and correct mass was put into the calculation of Uranus's orbit, then the strange behavior in its orbit that had been bothering astronomers for 100 years immediately ended. So this means that Pluto's discovery was no less than a coincidence. Or it can also be said that Pluto's discovery was by mistake. From 1989, Pluto was taught the smallest and coldest planet in the solar system in school textbooks. Many of you must have taught Pluto as the ninth planet in childhood. But then in 2006, something happened that put the existence of this ninth planet in danger. In 2005, experts discovered another body beyond Neptune, which was named Eris. Eris was much heavier than Pluto. Here astronomers had two options left. Either Eris is considered the 10th planet and hundreds of such bodies are also made planets, or the definition of a planet is changed. Now, because technology was getting very advanced, and many planets like Pluto or Eris were continuously being found, then they changed the definition of the planet. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union stipulated 3 conditions for being a planet. The first condition was that the planet should orbit around the Sun, which Pluto was doing. The second condition was that its gravity should be such that it can keep its shape round. This condition was also passed by Pluto, but the third condition put Pluto's existence in danger. The condition was that the planet should be the most powerful body of its orbit and that it should have removed the small stones and comets in its way. Pluto orbits around the Sun, but it is located far away in a part called Kuiper Belt. This belt is also home to countless small snowy stones and comets. It is necessary for any planet to have a lot of gravity to clean asteroids and comets in its way. To have more gravity, it is also necessary to have more mass, but Pluto's total weight is only 0.2% compared to Earth. This is why it cannot rule over its orbit's comets. In simple words, Pluto's gravity is not powerful enough to either pull these millions of comets towards itself and absorb them or push them out of orbit. This is why in 2006, the IAU removed Pluto from the category of planets and put it in the category of dwarf planets. But this does not mean that Pluto is over. In fact, it is now considered the king of its new category. The Kuiper Belt, which is also called the junkyard of our solar system, Pluto shines among the thousands of millions of comets and makes them feel its presence. Although it is smaller than our moon, but in the case of Pluto, size does not matter at all. This little Pluto had so many secrets hidden in it that astronomers went crazy. All the credit for unveiling these secrets goes to the spacecraft called New Horizons. This mission of NASA, which launched in 2006, was not easy at all. New Horizons was a piano-sized robot that humans sent 3 billion kilometers away. Pluto is so far from our world that it takes 5 hours for light to reach there. That's why NASA put this probe on the world's most powerful rocket, Atlas V. When this rocket was launched, it crossed the moon in just 9 hours. While in the Apollo missions, it took 3 days to reach the moon, but this speed was not enough to reach Pluto. 1 year later, when it reached near Jupiter, it increased its speed using the gravity of this giant planet. After traveling for another 8 years, finally, the time came in 2015 that everyone was waiting for. New Horizons had reached near Pluto. For the first time in human history, we were seeing the face of this 9th planet. There were 2 bright things in these memorable pictures. One was Pluto, and the other was its moon, Charon. The relationship between the two is very strange. Just like our moon is much smaller than our Earth, Pluto's moon is almost half of Pluto. These two are so close that their directions are locked with each other. That is, if you stand on Pluto and look at the moon, you will always see one side of the moon and it will never disappear. Similarly, the moon will never be visible on the far side. Pluto and its moon are pulling each other so much that their center of gravity is also not fixed, which looks very strange. But the real magic started when New Horizons started sending high-definition pictures of Pluto. Before this day, everyone thought that if Pluto is very cold, it will be a very boring, crater-filled, lifeless planet. But the pictures showed that Pluto is actually very colorful. It turned out to be a combination of blue, red, white, and orange colors. The first thing that became the center of attention was a very large heart made on Pluto. A perfect heart shape is naturally formed on the surface of Pluto, which is called Sputnik Planitia. The special thing about this heart is that it is completely clean from stains. Here is the ice of nitrogen. The same nitrogen that solidifies things in liquid form, here the cold of -229 degrees Celsius has solidified this nitrogen. There are strange polygons-like patterns in this heart shape, which is a sign that Pluto's core is still hot. Here under the ground, nitrogen melts and comes up and solidifies again. This is the movement that keeps this whole heart fresh and clean from stains. In addition to this, Pluto's atmosphere is a mixture of very thin nitrogen and methane. When the UV rays of the sun react with methane, an organic waste called tholins is formed through a chemical reaction, which is red in color. This waste falls on the ground as ice, which has given a large part of Pluto a red and orange color. New Horizons has found something on Pluto that is difficult to imagine. Ice volcanoes. You have seen volcanoes that erupt on the ground, but there are also volcanoes that erupt on Pluto. When they boil, not lava, but a cold slush of water, methane, and ammonia comes out of it. Scientists believe that due to the warming inside Pluto, there may be oceans of water below its outer layer. Just like water does not freeze under a thick layer of ice in the Arctic, just like water does not freeze under a thick layer of ice in the Arctic, there may be reserves of water or liquid nitrogen below the layer of Pluto's thick nitrogen ice. This was the story of the traveler whom we discovered but could never accept. Pluto did not comply with our rules, but its existence was still in the Kuiper belt yesterday and does not need any recognition there today. We hope you will like and share this video of Hidden History Hub. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next video.